guys, it's Jess. I am here today to talk about Butter by Erin Jade Lange, or Long. Still not sure how to say it. This book is about a boy in his junior year of high school, and he is extremely obese, and he's very self-conscious, unhappy with himself, and angry. And one day, he's looking through the list of most likely tos that his school has posted, well, that one of the kids at his school has posted, and he is listed as most likely to have a heart attack. He comments on this website that he is going to have one last meal on New Year's Eve, and that last meal will kill him. This gains momentum among his classmates, and he becomes very popular. He becomes friends with all the popular kids, he hangs out with them, and he just lives. It's about 1 month before New Year, so he has 4 weeks to just make the most of the situation he's in, and he really does. He goes out all the time, and for the first time in years, he actually ends up losing weight, which is a big deal, but he still plans on going through with his plan regardless of losing weight or not. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I think that there were a lot of opportunities to talk about important things that happen to many teenagers, not necessarily in the same exact instance, not that they're obese or overweight, but that they're unhappy with themselves and they let their classmates egg them into a situation and a action that's not needed. And I think that could have been utilized more. This book could have talked about it more. And so that's what led me to the 3 out of 5 stars. I know this book got rave reviews. Sarah Churchill really loved this book, who is another booktuber. That's where I heard about this book. She really, really loved this book. And I'm not saying I didn't love it. I really did. I enjoyed the book a lot. But there were many instances where I was like, oh, they probably could have handled that in a way that maybe taught a better lesson. I did do a full and very extensive review on my blog about what social commentary I feel like should have happened, what kind of lessons. This being a book about suicide could have taught a lot of lessons, and I talked very extensively about how I would have preferred to see the book done in my blog. So if you're interested, check that out. Now, walk away, walk away, because I am about to talk about actual plot points in the book. So if you have not read Butter, do not watch the rest if you don't want to be spoiled, because this is my spoiler alert, because I'm going to now talk about more plot points. One thing I was really happy about is that Erin Jade Lange actually talked about the mother's role in Marshall's obesity. Marshall is Butter, and how to comfort him she gave him food, and how she takes responsibility for that near the end. I appreciate that. I think that's something that's really skipped over in a lot of conversations that are talked about obesity and about suicide also, is that the parents also have to take some responsibility, not for the suicide necessarily, but for maybe the situation surrounding the child that led to that. And I was very happy that that was talked about at the end after Butter's recovering in the hospital. I think the book would have been more impactful had Butter died. I think it would have been more real, because unfortunately the reality of the situation is that most suicide victims do not survive. I felt it was really important to put the scene of Butter being forced to eat the butter in the book, because it really explains how he got his nickname, and then that people continued to call him it. Like, he didn't stand up for himself. He didn't say, that's not my name is Marshall, which I think is another thing that would have been helpful had they actually talked about that. I would have really liked to have some closure on where Marshall was going to go. Was he going to go to Juilliard? Was he going to go back to the school? Was he going to go to the institute? It would have provided some closure on the story, not just, hi, I'm Anna, hi, I'm Marshall. One part of the story that really got to me is the night that Marshall left the party, after Anna found out he was the internet guy, and he goes to find the professor at Logan's, and then the professor turns him away. I think it's what happens most of the time, and then Butter says, I was scared. I kept saying sorry, but I should have been saying I'm scared. And I think that happens a lot, so it was a good thing to put in the book, because it's very real. It's very much what happens in that kind of situation. Most suicide attempts or suicide victims try to reach out before that final goodbye, and they try to find someone who cares, find someone who helps. And so it was good that they put that in there. And unfortunately, it was very real that no one helps, and I think that happens a lot of time. People are just too busy, people turn people away. Overall, I think there were a lot of missed opportunities in this book to talk more about how suicide affects those people, how suicide affects those around you, and stuff like that. So I would have appreciated some better social commentary on how to handle situations than what was provided in this book versus, you know, if you tell people you're going to commit suicide, you'll become popular and then your problems are solved. Like, that I don't think is a good message. Which is what I felt was what I got from the book, is that. And then people will like you and tell you to stop. But I don't think that's a positive way to portray it. That's my final comment on Butter. 3 out of 5 stars. It was well written. I do think it was a good story. It had a happy ending. But I think there were opportunities that were missed to talk more seriously about suicide and suicide prevention. Now, it's TBR jar time. So, I'm going to pick my next book that I will read is going to be... the first in the Lunar Chronicles! Yay! I'm going to read Cinder. I am so excited to read this book. This is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is the first in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I've heard so many good things, and I'm so thrilled. I'm sure I will read this super fast. If you've read Butter or if you've read Cinder, please leave your comments down below. I would love to hear them. I'm very interested in other people's thoughts on Butter, what you loved, what you didn't like. And that's all I have today. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!